Happy Monday.
I thought it was time for the Magic Duff Bucket to just say hi, start the thing out. Some Dave Mustaine backing up the tone, the mood, getting it all primed and ready. And I don't need to introduce the Magic Duff Bucket. But what have you got for me today? You got Rogue Santa's Private Reserve, which means if we're to believe the files, the secret billionaire files that are now public, and everybody knows all the insanity that's going on behind the curtain. Not only is the wizard insane, he's eating children. So if you're to believe that, then you got to believe that Santa's put some elf blood in his private reserve. So we're gonna taste it. This is okay. This is just okay. It's no rapture, which when is the rapture? It's going to be happening soon. And I just got to show you this badass bottle opener I got from my father-in-law. It's probably an actual live round that was dismantled, decommissioned, and had this nice little notch cut into it so you could open your beers. If killing is your business and business is good, celebrate with a rapture. I can't have another beer on camera and speak the name of Mitch's company. Hello, good to see everybody. I'm glad you're here in these end times talking books, because let's keep the horror fiction. Let's keep the horror fictitious. That would be a tagline if I ever open up a horror store, a bookstore. I would open up a bookstore and call it the horror section, and the tagline would be, "Let's keep all the horror fictitious," or "I like my horror fictitious." That something, I don't know. I'll get a marketing or brand agency to come up with some wizard stuff. Hello, good to see you. Who do we got? Who am I saying hello to? Jason. I wish you would quit arguing with Jason. I'm just going to say that. Hello, Mike, Jason, Brandon, Zach, Stephen Wayne Allison Jr. Right on the dot. He was tired of getting his pay doc. Toxic person. Hello. I don't know who you are, but good evening, Mark. Good to see you. Cheers to you. Let's pour for Mark. Let's just pour this out. We gotta celebrate people. We gotta salute people. Rob loves books. Hey, Jim Chidester is here. Tim, oh my God. Okay, you guys are all sneaking up on me. I'm driving to Specs. Anyone recommend anything? Specs. I don't know where Specs is, Jesse. Tim, good to see you. Ron, evening. Jim Chidester actually made it tonight. I'm glad you did. Rob loves books. Hello, everyone. Suntup. I'm ready. I was ready for tomorrow until I saw the price. Now, I haven't even clued in. You're talking about the poetry book. I saw a lot of people say they are out at that price, and I have no idea what the price is. If you want me to look it up, I'll look it up. But I wasn't tracking on that. So I wasn't doing my due diligence. I guess I was just too angry about too many things. Hey, Law Hippie. Law Hippie, Law Whipple. Law Hippie. Good to see you. If no recommendations, probably just getting buzz balls. I've had those. It sounds like a medical condition. Doctor, I've got some buzz balls. Okay. Maybe somebody can get you antibiotics that you could then slip to your wife. Too many references, and it's not even funny. So that's the thing. I'm making jokes, and it's not even funny. If you know, you know. Toxic person is Jason McDonald. Okay, not sure why my profile changed. I just didn't want to do your full name. I didn't know what was going on. And Jason McDonald, I think I need to reach out to you. Have we talked on Facebook? I don't remember, but I'll try to find you. I'm bundling up all the swag bags and stuff finally. And I just got them a little while ago from Mitch, right? So he took a break from his 13 jobs to send me the books. I talked about that. So I'm boxing them up. I'm trying to figure out who gets what. There are a number of folks that are getting them. They bought tickets to Jeff Con. They didn't go to Jeff Con, so they get the swag bags. I got to track them down and send it out. If anybody knows Sam Boyd, tell him to pick up his phone. Sam Boyd, you out there, Sam? I messaged you on Facebook. I need your Addy. Anyway, and then after that, I'll probably have 10 swag bags for sale on the. Oh, and by the way, could someone please just buy the last goddamn death bus on Rapture's site? I mean, I might do it myself. I'm just tired of seeing it hang out. One left, and then I'll have the only supply of death buses. I got a small garage full of death buses, and I'll be getting them to folks if anybody wants it. It's a very cool collectible. That's all I'm going to say. It's a cool collectible. Fracassi wrote an intro to it. He signed it. It's very limited, only 150 in the whole world. It's got a story that I wrote my first, so there's a number of things that are kind of unique about it. So I'm just saying that's my pitch. 1290 something. Oh, hey, good evening, Flash. 1967. It will still fly tomorrow. I haven't bought a Sun Tub for over a year. What's the title? $1,300 for the cheap seats. Who's going on with the YouTube Pro? What's going on with the YouTube? I don't know. I think we're all getting doxxed. I think the AI overlords are putting the leash around our necks, and you're all, I don't know. I don't know who's doing that. I've picked up 2 tups through LP, Levidian, since the breakup. Can you guess the titles? You are incorrect on both, Mike. The two McCammons. They told me Flash was already in use, so I had to change. Oh, man. Selections from the poems of William Morris. I do have Suntup's other poetry book, and I kind of dug it. If I could find it. The World Doesn't End. Yeah, Simic. He signed in pencil. Wendy Mark did the art, and it was limited to 150 copies, and it is a gorgeous book. It is a gorgeous book. Now, poetry is not my bag. This is just gorgeous by the standards of fine art. It's handmade paper, gorgeous paper, deep bite on the letterpress, pretty, atmospheric, emotional art. Charles Simic has since passed. And I like this poem. It's the last poem in the book. My secret identity is the room is empty and the window is open. I can't tell you why I like it, because I don't even know why I like it. But I like it. And I think that's all you have to say, right? And I do dig it. I have number 23, of course, because those were my 23 days. It's gorgeous. I'm not even gonna lie. Obviously, if he was publishing this today, I would not have bought it. I wouldn't have reached for the thing, but I wanted it. I could get it. Since then, things have changed, and I would never do it. But that doesn't diminish how much I like having this. You know what I'm saying? So if you can afford it, do it. Go for it. And if you can't, it's okay. There are other worlds than these. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm dying to know what Chris Ding, correct. No Country for Old Men. So I wonder which ones what was the other one? Finally going to be able to secure the best edition of the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. Yes, and that is great news. If you have not seen it, maybe I could pull it up. I don't know. Let me see. Let me just make sure I have it ready before you see like government secrets. I don't want you to see government secrets. But here is, oh boy, oh wow, I almost showed you government secrets. Let me see. So this is the email here, and you got Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre, art by Ben Baldwin. There's Rose Dubois. There's the killer. That's the Who in the Who Done It. And there are cars because there are disturbances at the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. I love the leaves, love the little rain dappled. This is a great book. I love the book. I love the book. It's going to be limited to 250, I believe. It's wait, is it going to be what is it? How many? Oh man, I think I should know it. 350. Yes. One thing I'm super excited about, other than the art, the art's going to be Ben Baldwin. You know, it's going to have all the other incredible things that make Earthling books just must purchase items if you like anything good in your life. You're gonna like Earthling. And the Ben Baldwin stuff, but also it restores the killer POV chapters. Now, if you read my email, my newsletter yesterday, you might have been misguided. I might have misled you because, to be honest, I thought I didn't explicitly say it in the newsletter, but I thought these killer POV chapters were going to be where they were in the original cut, the early arc of Autumn Springs, which, if you are keeping score, is this one, right? So this is the early author arc of Autumn Springs. Very few people got it. And those killer POV chapters are interspersed throughout. I loved it. I thought it added a lot of humor. It ratcheted up a lot of chaos. And I thought it was incredible. So I thought the Earthling was going to just be this. But the killer POV section is going to be in the back in an addendum. So you could read the book and then go and read those, or I don't know, maybe you could read the killer POV as you have to flip around, and that's probably a pain in the ass. But I am so happy that you have access to that content anyway, because there's a real when I heard that Philip was taking those out for the edit and it was going to be streamlined, there are still killer POV chapters in the last half of the book. And the way it's introduced in the trade edition actually packs more of a punch, because by the time you get to the killer POV sections in the trade edition, if you read this cut, there was no punch, right? You were already introduced to the killer's thought patterns. You already had that. So in this one, in the trade edition, in the edit that came out, that when you are introduced to the killer POV, it is much more dramatic. It does pack a bigger punch. So I do like that tweak. I like that a lot. So, but you can then, after you're done reading, go back and read those chapters. It's very cool. I don't know. I'm just giddy about it. And apologies if I made it look like this was going to be the restored arc version, because I don't want to confuse any. But anyway, so that's the 24th. If you've bought Serafina from Earthling on the 24th, you'll have a chance to get your copy secured. And then the next day, it's going to everybody. He's giving everybody a heads up, so you can't say you weren't warned at a time. And man, and then that's it. It's like that's the last say on Autumn Springs. It's the final say. It's the closing argument, and it's going out with the bang, man. It's like a fireworks show. That's the finale. I'm so jazzed for it. It's a great book. It's a great book, and as you can see, I adored it. I'm very happy to have multiple copies. So anyway, that's yes, we're very, very excited. Um, that Simic book is great. Read it. I did read it. I did. Even so, poetry is a mood. Poetry is an emotion, a shared vibe. And some of the Simic stuff, I didn't really land with me entirely. Like I think sometimes you have to sit and study it or be with it for a while. But that last poem, it sort of shook me up. It woke me up. I don't know. There's something about that. There's something about that I connected with instantly. Um, Anyone looking for a Spin the Black Yarn from Mallerman by SST? I have an extra with slipcase, $75. Holy shit, Flash. You're just giving that away. That's cool, though. Hit Flash up. Find out how to reach out to get Flash, or you message me and I'll message Flash, and we'll make that connection. Happy to do it because I that's a great book. Have you seen it? I thought I showed it last week. It's awesome. I'm going to post the video. I'm so late on posting videos, so I'll be posting that soon. I was interested in tomorrow's book until I saw that price. Jeff's idea of poetry. There once was a man from Nantucket. Oh, I wrote poems. I wrote a lot of poems. And I would go to the Green Mill. This is his old speakeasy in downtown Chicago. And it used to be Al Capone's speakeasy, but it's still in business. It's a legitimate business. And it's older. It's over 100 years old. Anyway, I would go up there. I'd go to the Uptown Poetry Slam because the bar was located in the neighborhood of Uptown. We don't have 5 boroughs like goddamn New York. We got many neighborhoods, and New York can kiss my ass. I'm just kidding. I know there's some people from New York. And I no longer have those neighborhoods, so I don't even know what I'm getting territorial about. Territorial? Anyway, I would read. I'd go up and I'd do the open mic, and I got so much applause, polite applause. They're like, yes, you rhymed it. I see you rhymed that one. Was it hard to think up a word that sounded like another word and put it together? Aw, that's really the extent of my poetry. Except one poem I read, they loved. There was only one. It was called Suds. Suds. So yeah, I had a little dabble, but not really my thing. Really like my Folio American Psycho, but I'm really hoping Suntup does it as well. Well, congrats, Zach. I'm glad you got it. I heard bad shit about the trade case, but someone else told me that the book is great. You might have. So I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it turned out well because there's nothing worse than paying $650 for a book that's a turd. It's a turd. It should come with a Huey Lewis mixtape. I don't know. I think. Yeah, 350. Yo, Mitch is here. When you do that, I just can't help but follow that up with, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Which is AI. What's your top 5 McCammon, Jeff? What's up? The Wizard Owl. Top 5 McCammon? I would have to say top 5 McCammon. Let me see. Hold on. I thought I missed someone. Did I miss anyone? Did I miss saying hi to anyone? I feel number 1's here. I didn't see you, number 1. See, it was itchy. It was itchy back in the back of my head where the parasites live. And so, okay. Top 5 McCammon, probably it's gotta be Swan Song, Boy's Life. Oh, by the way, okay, Swan Song, Boy's Life, Wolf's Hour. Let's see. What? I know there's something. I know there's always one I'm forgetting. The Listener. The Listener is one that always slips under the radar. And then probably Queen of Bedlam or Mr. Slaughter from the Matthew Corbett series. I think you got to pick something from the Matthew Corbett series. That'd be my 5. And don't ask me to repeat them because I'm probably not going to remember what they were. But Wolf's Hour, Swan Song, Boy's Life, Mr. Slaughter, and The Listener. I see, out of my brain, I just went Mr. Slaughter. But Queen of Bedlam is probably Queen of Bedlam and Mr. Slaughter are the 2 best Matthew Corbett books. And then you got River of Souls. You have to take a jump. And now I just started reading this one. I wanted to talk a little bit about it, so I had it out already. I'm blocked. I'm reading King of Shadows now because I am way behind on finishing the series. I have King of Shadows, I have Leviathan, and then 7 Shades of Evil. But this, I got to say to Brian James Freeman, if you ever see this channel, this show, this live, this is a fantastic reading experience. I mean, this brings me back to like, this is why I collect limited editions. This is why I collect deluxe limited editions with fine materials and wonderful paper. This is it. I'm sitting here reading it. I'm like, oh, there's just something so pleasurable about reading a fine edition, you know, and I can't recommend that enough. If you get a Suntop, if you get a Levidian, if you get an Earthling, if you get all these books that are maybe you're worried about handling, you know, I like to eat Cheeto. I like to eat a Cheeto. You notice how they call it Cheetos? They don't want you to have a Cheeto. They're planting that. When you open this bag, be ready to commit to Cheetos. So I like a Cheeto every now and then, but not with my books. So the things you're afraid to handle are meant to be handled. And I don't know. I just something about it, right? Just like, I was like, oh, this is so much fun. This is so nice. Great job, Brian James Freeman. Because I can't call him just Brian. So that is what I would say. Read 7 Shades before Leviathan. Really? Okay. All right. Okay. If you say so. Tell me you only read the arc without saying it, Jeff. What? I only read what arc? The Fracassi arc? No, I read it when it came out in the trade. I wanted to experience it. And then when that POV chapter hit, the killer POV, is that what you're talking about? Are you accusing me of not reading all the multiple versions of a Fracassi? Now, I loved reading it again, and especially because I knew who the killer was, and I didn't have to waste my brain power, and I could just enjoy it. I do not stand by that accusation lightly, Stephen Duane, Allison Jr., a.k.a. Scab Dog. Look, I named you Scab Dog because scabies is like a Navy disease, you know, a sailor's disease. And dog, Loki, man. You're a dog person like me. So Scab Dog. Also, honestly, Poe had all kinds of scabs on his back. I was also calling him Scab Dog. But that doesn't matter. Who knows in this magic blender of a brain what comes out? Jeffrey Dahmer knows what comes out of a blended brain. He does. That's not funny. Those people died, man. One-man show here. What do we got? Good evening, Lance. Good to see you. Oh, wait. What's up with Dos Equis? Ended up getting a 6-pack of Dos Equis. Man Thought Specs was a well-known store. I guess not. No, I don't know Specs. I know Benny's Beverage Depot. That's in Chicago. What, you want to go to Benny's? You want some wine, or you going to be a fugazi? Go to Benny's. I miss Benny's. Still waiting on your video on picking the 10 books. Yes. You'd take with you if you had to evacuate your house, copying Tim's. Yes, I know. And that's still in the back of my brain. That video, and then I have 5 titles that seem to permanently be on my TBR. I just can't get to read these 5 books. Those 2 videos are coming. Yes. McCammon, top 5. The Corbett series, you just did them all. That's one big book to you. Swan Song, Boy's Life, Wolf's Hour. Yes, yes, yes. I never read Mystery Walk. I saw somebody else write Stinger. Yes, Stinger. That was a DNF for me when I was 15. No good reason. I can't even defend it. So I got the beautiful SST edition. I got the signed book club hardcover edition, and I also have the signed teacup movie tie-in edition. So god damn it, I'm going to read that book. If you live in the city, the gin mill is on the north side by the lake. Green Mill. It's the Green Mill. And we went there on our wedding day to have our photo taken there. We love the Green Mill. And she lived in Uptown for a year, right around the corner. It was so cool. The Green Mill. Oh man, I do miss the Green Mill. Was pleasantly surprised with how much I liked the Simic book. No budget for the new poetry collection, as pretty as it is. Oh, and I hope Wraith is getting the love it deserves. Was really happy with that, Levidian. Yeah, I'm not really a Joe Hill collector, so not really anything that I'm in danger of getting. So I did see a lot of love for that book. A lot of people are posting it and talking about how much they love it. It's a graphic novel, right? So it's real big. It's going to ruin that shelf line. I know Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. doesn't like that. You got to they're all this high, and then it gets to a high one, and then it goes along. I would end up having to put Wraith at the beginning so that shelf line's uninterrupted. The top edges are all aligned. That's what I would have to do. I just got here. Oh yeah, where are we at? I just got here. Hello, glad you didn't take the government holiday. No, I did not. President's Day. Kind of down on president, I mean, it's like I'm not really a fan of government right now, or ever have been. So I guess same shit, same stuff. Just waiting for me and Flash are gonna go riding around in a 4th of July parade with a corrupt politician in the trunk. That's entertainment purposes only. It's not a threat to anybody. Besides, you would never, what corrupt politician do you have to pick from? The Listener, yeah. It's a fantastic book. Wraith is great. That's cool. I'm so glad. I love the good books, and I was, instead of reading King of Shadows, I was going to jump into King Sorrow. Right? Now I'm thinking it's King of Sorrow. No, it's King Sorrow from Joe Hill. I was going to do that because I'm like, you know what? It'd be cool to read a Joe Hill. I haven't read a Joe Hill in a while. And I haven't read a Joe Hill since Horns, and then Fawn, which is just a short story. But I'm like, I can jump into a new Joe Hill that's brand new, basically-ish, and, be current, be cool with the new kids. But I didn't. I didn't do that. I said, I got to get back to Matthew Corbett, and I didn't even remember where Cardinal Black left off. So King of Shadows, he starts the new book, the next book in the series out with a little bit of a refresher. So Matthew and Barry are like at dinner, and they're kind of saying some temporary farewells, and they recap what happened in Cardinal Black a little bit. Very cool. I liked Cardinal Black too, but I'm hoping I love Leviathan. And why would you recommend reading 7 Shades of Evil? Because those are actually 8 short stories in the Matthew Corbett world. Wouldn't the continuity be better just to go straight through, like drop that pedal and just go right through Leviathan? Because I'm so anxious to get that read. Will Levidian do King Sorrow? Probably eventually. Probably eventually was the name of my heavy metal album. Name of the band was called Whatever. I think Levidian will eventually do the entire Hill catalog. That was his plan. That was it. I love different heights for books because it's easier to grab them off my shelves. Interesting take, Jason. It's an interesting angle. I'm going to do the contrarian and say that King's Sorrow has been a disappointment. I'm at page 200 and doubt I'll make it through the near 700 pages. Sorry to hear that, Ron. I wanted to read it and come to my own conclusions about it. Just sort of figure it out. Where do I sit with that? And yeah, but I've heard mixed things. I've heard mostly positive. And Ron, you are true to what you believe. I like that. You're like, no, I'm calling balls and strikes. Even though you like Bentley Little, it's okay. It's fine. Even though. Mediocre, Mitch. I'm drinking mediocre beer. Mediocre. Death Bus is officially sold out. Yes. I'm glad you guys did it during a live. Either that or Mitch is lying and he's going to do a Chismar later on when it gets sold. It's, when it gets sold to be made into a movie. Quantum Leap on Acid is what they're going to call it. Quantum Leap on Acid. And it's going to be that bad. But yes, I'm glad you guys sold it, bought it, and got it out of existence. This calls for Belly the Bell. This is like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Thank you for whoever bought that and whoever reads it, whoever might enjoy it. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm glad it's sold out with Mitch, but there's a stash here. Shh. There's a stash here. We're going to be getting to that. That's awesome. It's awesome. I'm glad. Seven Shades fills in several blanks that are present in Leviathan. Okay. Oh, damn. Thanks for the heads up, man. Huh. Well, I'm going to have to do that then because I want to cruise right through. That's awesome. Thank you, Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. Thank you. There's a reason they came out in that order. Well, when I went to see him live at the book launch, how Robert McCammon presented that book was he wanted to say goodbye and give each character their own stage before it ended. And he said it was sort of like he wanted to get a farewell in while all the characters are sort of still fresh. He didn't say like you had to read it before Leviathan. He didn't say, no, this is a primer and it'll all wrap up in Leviathan. Either that or I missed it when he said it, but I don't recall him saying that. And I took it as sort of just like his way. They did the whole show. Every character comes out, gets their bow, and then the final act. So it's sort of like an encore, but it's also the crescendo. But I believe you. I'm not saying you've read them. So what can I say? So I think I will then. I will do it that way. Here come the Death Bus PC copies on eBay. Oh my God, yes. Oh, Mitch found another bundle. That's great. Now, Jeff's the only plug for Death Bus. Yep. Are there spoilers for the Matt Corbett books here? What's up, Hans? Good to see you, Hans. Are there spoilers for the Matt Corbett books here? I don't think I'm spoiling anything. Don't force me to spoil Leviathan for you. There's some characters that have interesting. Okay, well, don't ruin anything. Anyone else not send their copy of Eye in the Sky back to Jared? To be signed. No spoilers, Hans. Hi, Hans. Yes, no spoilers. We are allergic to spoilers. And this chat, every week the chat is basically the show. So there is no side chat. We can't have side chats. It'll get broadcast because I read and I don't censor. I just read it out. And we just go for it. So Yes. And we have other things to talk about. Oh yeah, Mitch, congratulations on another sellout. This Michael Marshall Smith, The Quality of Mercy, is sold out. And also your special numbered bundle batch stuff is sold out. So I haven't read this yet. I was going to read it. I was reading another advanced review copy I have, and then I was going to read this next. And then Mitch sold them out, and I'm like, well, there's no fire under my ass to read this now. I can't help Mitch sell anything, but I want to read it before I get it, so that when I do the unboxing, I can also talk a little bit about it, just to add content. It's very short. It's like 16 pages, but I am anxious to read my first Michael Marshall Smith and then find out where this guy gets his nails done. Because he looks like he's got attention to his hands. So, but yeah, I will. I am anxious to read it, but no urgency, right? No urgency. So that's why I had that off to the side. So congratulations on that sellout. I used Gerald's label to send it to get it signed by Swanwick, and the turnaround back from him to me was very fast. Very cool. That's good to know. That's very good to know. Is CD selling copies of Death Bus? Can you use store credit on it? I gotta say, I got an email from the Jagoffs there at Cemetery Dance. They were showing the cover, Glenn Chadbourne's work here, because it's not Richard Chismar's labor that he's selling. So the man in the black suit, this is the cover of the chapbook, tree in a lake. And I didn't notice, this is the first time I ever noticed this part. And it's thank you for signing up for the Cemetery Dance newsletter. This newsletter is opt-in only, meaning you signed up for these emails. If you ever want to unsubscribe, please feel free to use the easy unsubscribe link in this newsletter. You will not receive further emails, but if you do for some reason, please contact info@cemeterydance.com and we will investigate. Thanks again for your support of Cemetery Dance Publications. I never saw that before, and I had to go back to their previous emails to see if that was the same footer, and it is. I thought they put it in because everybody bitches about all these emails, and they're like, at the end of it all, like, hey, you opted in. You waive all your right to complaining because you opted in. Here's the door out. Just leave and then shut up. Like, that's sort of the vibe. And I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. Very awful title treatment. The man in the black suit. That's how it reads. Well, that's how it reads, Jill. He's got why is black suit in all caps? The man in the, and then he screams black suit at you. Jill, if you're looking at your screen right now, you could see how awful this title treatment is. It's another reason to not like Cemetery Dance. If you know anything about typography or even minimal graphic design, and then, of course, they have this curved arch Stephen King here. I'm sorry. I'm just doing an e-reader, e-screen reader. Congratulations on a super successful first year of Rapture. Mitch, you did good, boy. Yes, you did, Mitch. Yes. Great to point that out, Stephen Waynhouse Jr. It's not just Death Bus that's sold out. It's literally everything except for a few titles, but that's okay. It's a great year. I mean, Sam Rebeline was introduced to me by you. Brian Evenson. Oh man, the author of Resurrection. Damn, don't hate me. Don't hate me. Jess Hageman. Feel like I'm butchering that. Great authors I've never read before. Got to read for the first time as Rapture Chappies. Then you had, the Phil Fracassi, the Tyler Jones, the Chad Lutsky. And man, it's It's a killer year. Now you got to get Mallerman. You got to get Keelan Patrick Burke. You got to get Thomas Alderweireld. You got to get an Anya Allborn in there. Got to get a Lansdale, a McCammon. You got your work cut out for you. But stellar first year, and congrats on all of that. I know it's your 14th job, but you did good. You were able to stay awake. Hey, Chad. Hey, Chad's here. Everybody say hi to Chad. Good to see you, Mr. Lutsky. And you had a birthday. Glad you had a birthday. Everybody needs a birthday once in a while. Ron, I had decided to leave it as I had received it. I'm glad you got your copy back fast. Oh, so without the signature. Oh, yeah, I need to collect your monies, Jesse. Hit me up. Oh, yeah, you got to get money from Jesse. Where'd Mark Kennefick go? Yo, Chad. So, yeah, why are only have what? Yeah, why are only have black suit in all caps? That don't make no sense. Is this the future of Stephen King collecting high-end limited editions of standalone short stories and novellas? You know what? I wish it was, Hans, but this isn't a high-end limited edition. Like, you need to if it was a high-end limited edition, and no doubt Glenn Chadbourne's going to do what he can, right? He's going to bring the heat. Stephen King completists are going to need it. And all of that said, it does feel like vultures are getting down to the last little meat stuck to the rib of Stephen King. They're really cleaning the corpse. They're gonna everything's eventual is like what, 14 Dark Tales. That's 14 chapbooks. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Then somebody's gonna come out with the Bizarre Bad Dreams, but they're all gonna be single volumes in a slipcase. I hate to think I'm giving anyone ideas, but that sure seems to be the way we're going. I mean, they already did it with Joe Hill with Strange Weather, you know? Yeah. Maybe that is the future. It was a fun and extremely busy year. Yes. I'm glad it was fun. Hold on now. When did Stephen King write a romance novel? And is Chadbourne drawing the model? Yeah, it does. It does look like a romance book cover. That's a fair critique. Regarding opt-out, opt-in, I somehow found myself on a few different Chiz lists, including the CD one, and the ones that were just for Chizmar stuff did not have an opt-out option. Oh, I'm somebody, I guess I like to hate watch. So I'm on the Chizmar newsletter email distribution, and I'm on the Cemetery Dance one. Yeah, and I can opt out. I never tried. Levidian, I'm also mixed up on Levidian. Like every time you buy a book, it's like, hey, keep me notified. And I think that box might be checked by default. I'm not sure. So if you buy a Levidian title, like you're resubscribing. And I wonder, like, if every time, well, no, because then you get multiple of the same emails from the same sender if you kept resubscribing. I don't know how it works. Oh, Black Phone, you're right. Black Phone too. And Fawn by Conversation Tree. Those are short stories that were single bound. The one the one night in here with you all, I complained about it and called it illegal. The next email had an opt out. Ooh. I don't think Chiz is watching. I would hope so. Thank you, Chad. Not all heroes wear capes. Yeah. Wear white. Oh, okay. See, sometimes it's capes. Hey, what's up, Jason Murphy? Good to see you. What are you saying is Chad does not draw attractive women. Glenn Chadbourne, you mean? He doesn't. I saw what he drew for Fairy Tale. I don't know. By Chad, I mean Chadbourne. Okay, yeah. Late to the party. Why? Wait. It came from the what? Vor? I can't read it. Late to the party. Why does Chismar suck? Trash author? I would say he's a room temperature author. He's an inoffensive author. The stuff I've read by him, well, Girl on the Porch was just awful. It was nothing at all happens in that book. Widow's Point was tepid. But it wasn't like CJ Tudor, who I think is awful, or Bentley Little, who I think is awful. So I was eager to read other Chismar stuff, but it's all his business practices and him as a human being. Like, let's be clear. He's an awful human being, and he's a terrible businessman. Even though he's been running Cemetery Dance since 1989, I get it. How many businesses have I run since 1989? Total 0, like, since then. So it's fair to say he at least accomplished some of his goals, but he's a reprehensible human being. He is. He's just awful, and he's never apologized for anything he said or done. And he's got sycophants who still have his back. It's just a whole mess. I've done several. If you look at my past archive, I don't shut up about them. Just stick around. I feel that, Jeff. Keep your enemies close, eh? Yeah. I haven't read Stephen King since Holly came out. I'll probably read The Talisman 3, but I have low expectations for it, to be honest. Yeah, I do too. But I have got to read it. I'm going to go into that having reread Talisman and Black House, because, again, Talisman was one of my absolute favorite books. It still is, and I'm way overdue for a reread. And I'm bracing myself. So I'm lowering my expectations for Other Worlds and these, lowering them as low as I can get them, so that when I am disappointed, it's not so great. But who knows? I am going to hold out a little hope that magic, he's like that Toby Keith song. I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. I hope he's still got some of that, where he brings it for Talisman 3. And, like, yeah, any Dark Tower books he may also, because Talisman 3 is a Dark Tower book. Anything else he might also have up his sleeve. But he's earned his coasting years. Stephen King has. If you don't like Holly, if you don't like Billy Summers, if you don't like If It Bleeds, all those books, all those, if you don't like Fairy Tale, that's fine. This is like downtime for him. He's earned it, right? He's earned his accolades. He's earned his fame. He's earned his title as the master horror storyteller. Indisputable. So if he's kind of coasting now, let him have his stories. And they're still better than a lot of writers out there. Let's be honest. So I can't take anything away from that guy's talent. What an awesome powerhouse of a storyteller. Here's to Stephen King, man. My childhood hero. I wish the story ended a different way. I thought I'd rather see him retire at the peak like Michael Jordan and not come back and play for the Wizards. But whatever. What are you going to do? Mark, welcome to the party, pal. You have now jumped over my last 2 comments. No, I didn't. The one comment said redacted. I did not jump over it. Mark, you must be getting censored by YouTube. I wish I knew what you said, because I do not like leaving anything out. Yeah, look, earlier when Chad Lutsky showed up, it said "Howdy gang," then it says "Hey Chad," then it says "Mark Kennefic, message retracted." Can I get it? Channel activity, go to channel report, put user in timeout, hide user, add as a moderator. I can't do anything with it, but it says message retracted. And then yo Chad. So I got Chad Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr., you, which is retracted, then Mitch. I can't, there's nothing there. I wish I saw it. And now I'm slowly scanning all the other comments, and I do not see anything other than you have now jumped over my last two comments. I don't see it. Welcome to the party, pal. And I don't want to. I've been here the whole time. At least I know someone sees me. I'm telling you, scroll back up. I don't see, it says message retracted. I wish I could show you, but I can't because I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry. I would love to hear what you have to say. Why mince words? Chiz is a con man that once ran one of the best small presses around. That's a very succinct, great way to say it. Chiz is a mediocre author and a horrible business runner. Yeah. I don't know what Straub's political stance was, but I'd like to think that King was able to respectfully bite his tongue when finishing the last book he did with his pal. Do you think there was a tension there politically with Straub? I would like to think that when it comes to art, we all make our points. No matter what you believe personally, you can make your points and tell a good story. I'm so tired of people just shutting each other down. And that's one of the things. There is stuff this week that I read from people who I once respected, and it's like I don't know how people can be so brainwashed and so accepting of their viewpoints and think they are on the moral high ground with their viewpoints when they are awful, when they are just, they're antithetical to everything I was raised to believe. And yeah, it's ridiculous. And I really think some people's brainwashing is terminal. Like there's no one doing it. There's no amount of facts or information you could put in front of them that cracks that shell. They're just like, I don't want to hear anything else. I'm just going to scream at you. And it just keeps me silent on a lot of things I want to say, because I also don't want to make people think I'm judging them. I'm just expressing my ideas. But whatever. I love books. Who's here for the books, man? It's all we got left. They took everything else. Mark, I'm not seeing your comments, buddy. What is that? Mark, it always happens to Mark. I think I don't know. I think there's a built-in, you're using words or you're doing something that this chat box is censoring. It ain't me. You can call me every vile name you want. I would let that ride. I'd probably pin it, unless you're a porn bot. Are you a porn bot, Mark? You're not. Chiz had a handful of short story ideas that he released in his first two collections. The rest is practically unreadable. Wow. At least King doesn't hire other authors to help him write his stuff. Some authors just put out their name on the book and let the other person write it. Patterson comes out with the template, and then he hires it off to a ghostwriter. So he'll have like chapter outlines. Jeff is streaming through a CCP server. Chinese Communist Party? Maybe. 1984 is coming. Yeah, maybe they don't like the shit. Maybe they don't like the shit Mark's saying. I don't know. They're on to us. Having finally caught up and read all of his recent work, Stephen King is not political in his books. Aside from an occasional comment from a character, I understand it is the character speaking. Yes and no. I'd have to respectfully disagree with you, Hans, on some of that, but and it doesn't even matter, because a lot of it, it's really, I've not been turned off by Stephen King for politics. So I think It is flavored. It is, and he does amplify it on Twitter, and it does sort of flavor the how you read it. But Big Jim Rennie was Mitt Romney. Rosie the Hat was Sarah Palin. He's never made it uh, uh, a hidden fact that he reviles Republicans. I'm somebody who reviles all of them. And so my annoyance with Stephen King was defending Joe Biden instead of being objective about Joe Biden. Like, yeah, bash Trump, but also bash Joe Biden. You're not being genuine because there were a lot of problems with Joe Biden. So anyway, I think it was imbalanced. He's not objective. He's not using his brain. He's being a lapdog. And when I think somebody's being a lapdog, I lose respect because you're just not thinking. You're not thinking that whatever. I'm not going to rehash Joe Biden. I'm not going to do that. But I have a problem with like a lot of them. I think there needs to be a house cleaning for all of it, especially now. I don't see how anybody could defend any political party right now. You can't. It's really a disaster, and I can't believe we still have a government after all of that stuff was released. But I'm not. But anyway, I think you're right in that how he writes isn't just like all political. You know what I mean? It's like he uses what he believes, and you could see it come through. Like in Sal, where they found these guns because this guy was a total gun nut. Like he'll dunk on the gun nuts. He'll dunk on anything that he sees as right leaning, and he'll give a huge pass and make all the good in his books more along the lines of his political beliefs, which is fine. It's totally fine. We write what we believe, and I think you would lose a lot of the power of his storytelling if he didn't believe what he was writing. But I totally think it is, and it's fine. And if you're not going to read or listen to music or enjoy movies and Hollywood and all that because of politics, then I think maybe you're a little short-sighted, or you're going to have a very boring life if you're on the right and you don't want to watch those things. You got a very small amount. You're going to listen to Kid Rock only. And I'm not saying anything. I'm probably more independent than a lot of people, and more so. I don't need to rant on this. I saw you say hello, but not any other comments, though. I do see this one now. How about now? I did say hi when you came on. Yeah. I see you now, Mark. I don't know what you wrote. If you could go back and pull those up and rewrite them or look at them and say what words. I have no words flagged. I have no words flagged as to be removed. Like there's nothing in my. I haven't programmed any censorship into the chat. The first post was deleted by me. The others show up when I go through the comments. Well, I try to tell you like what I'm seeing and where the gap was for me. And I'm really sorry, Mark. I really, I imagine it's annoying. I imagine it is, but I do try to follow every comment. I agree, Hans. The characters are just unbearable people sometimes, just as in life. Yeah. Okay. Chiz's best pal, is that vile enough for you? I don't think he's Chiz's best pal. Chiz is the leech on King's ass. I agree with Jeff on that one. Most of it's just been bad writing, but I did like Never Flinch more than most of the Holly garbage. I just don't like Holly as a character. It has nothing to do with politics. I just think he writes her really bad. The stuff that turns me off to Stephen King is how he portrays black characters. They're awful. I'm sorry. You cannot take the high horse and defend Idris Elba as Roland Deschain and write black characters the way you do. The only good one that he wrote, the only time he did it with some depth and heart, was Mike Hanlon from It. I got to say that. But I don't even like the role Mike Hanlon played in that book. If you think about Mike Hanlon's role, It's probably okay, it's probably the most sacrificial. Like, he did sacrifice himself, whatever. I find him problematic. I also am really creeped out, by the way, by a couple of other things that he writes, and most of it is in 11/22/63. That's where it came to a head for me. I just think it's like he's like super creepy with like women and idolizing virgins. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, imagine you find the perfect girl and she's never been touched. It's like, ooh, dude, that's where you judge her. Like, that's her value. Like, that's just my reading. You could read it into it whatever you want, but that was a big turnoff for me. So the turnoffs for me with Stephen King are not political. Like, if I do think they're interrupting the story, there is one time that in Duma Key, he goes to great lengths to talk about how this guy, this tolerant liberal, punches a Republican because he doesn't like what he's saying. And it's like, that seemed to be like a jerk off fantasy for you, Stephen King. Like, that's kind of, you were pretty self indulgent. It was unnecessary. It just sort of jumped out. And then he made fun of Toby Keith or something. And it sometimes it can take you out of a story if you're like, it might seem like a throwaway line or just something, but it's like, what? Why was that worked in? You could tell the things that are sort of worked in. Like, if the story could survive without those ideas and be good, still serviceable, then there's not good editing going on, and it's sort of self-indulgent. Like, Keelan Patrick Burke talked about it before. He's like, it's really tough. You have to, when you're a young author, you don't want to get rid of anything, and then you realize you have to, and it gets easier, but you sort of fall in love with your own ideas, and it becomes like an echo chamber, and you always got to think of that reader. Jeff is the roundest square I ever met. Skip me yet again between Lance and Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. Where are you? Okay, Lance. Dude, I'm telling you. Okay, Lance. Dude, I wish I could scroll and show you. Like, where are these comments between Lance and Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr.? Jill's not seen anything either. So the last thing I have, Mark, is the post was deleted by me, right? Then I go through. Then there's Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr., Zach, Mike, Jason, and then you. That's the whole thing. And then I go back. There's Chad Lutsky. Mark, I'm not seeing your comments, buddy. Then there's Lance, at least King. And then there's Stephen Dwayne Nelson Jr. Oh, shit, guys, they're on us. Run. Then there's Jason, 1984 is coming. I'm totally serious. And I have no idea. Maybe I'll go through the chat replay and see if they do get posted. Mark, I'm not seeing your post either. The one you mentioned isn't there for me. Whatever is going on isn't on Jeff's end. It's so weird. Chiz is just a pal writer for King to watch baseball games with. I think you're spot on. King needs friends like anyone else, and King gives 0 Fs what people say about his friends, just like you or me would. I care about what people say about my friends. I don't like if people make fun of Mitch just because he wears a Little League uniform everywhere. But yeah, I think, though, if you're buddies with a guy who runs awful business practices, you should at least be aware, and you should at least get that dog to heel and tell him, you got to clean your shit up, buddy. Because it then shit splatters. And when shit splatters, Stephen King could get some on him from the Chizburger. But yeah, I don't think he holds Chiz in this like lofty position. Honestly, I can't remember a King character's race that wasn't in a movie. Really? Jerome in you got Jerome in the Bill Hodges trilogy, Mother Abigail, Speedy Parker, Dick Halloran, Mike Hanlon. They're Magic, and then in Revival, the old white guy gets a young black girlfriend. and it's pretty creepy. The age difference and just the way he wrote that character. I don't know. I don't know. I think he writes black characters awfully. I just don't. I just don't think he's one to take the moral high ground. Joe Lansdale can write a believable, respectable black character. Like he does. They're individuals. They're not caricatures. They're not like. It's just odd, and I don't know if because King comes from the whitest state in the country or what the deal is. But he's it's like ooh, it's like you're out with that uncle who thinks he's being cool by trying to order at the Mexican restaurant, speaking Spanish. I'll have the fajitas or like the fajita, like he'll overdo it, and it'll be like, oh man, you're better off just saying I'll have the fajita. Like, don't try to add an accent. Don't try to say it because it's just making everybody at the table uncomfortable. Like, but I'm trying to relate. It's no, you're not. You're not doing a good job. And that's sort of how I picture Stephen King with his black characters. It'd probably be better if he didn't have any. I think I even remember a black character in Sleeping Beauties, and it was pretty awkward. Like he wrote the guy quick to violence, and it was like, "Ooh, did you have to do that with him? Like, could you not have been like? I think you're I don't know. It's just not. It's just not. It's always a cringy vibe I get, and that's just me. I don't know. I just I don't know why. I I've heard people talk about that. He falls into that. There's a magical person trope. I'm not even going to say the phrase, but he falls into that end of sort of racial thinking. I'm not going to say racist. It's just racial thinking. And yeah, I don't know. He purports to be this person, and then you see what he writes, and it's like, dude. Um, honestly, I can't. Okay, and even that is flipped. Yeah, I'm not reading King after being slapped in the face many times while reading Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale, I don't know about why you would be slapped in the face. And that's one book I was like, I was loving it. Like I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is Stephen King. He's good. And then, like, I really try to hold the hold the illusion. I'm like, there, fairy tale, fairy tale, and then it just dissipated in front of my eyes. I'm like, oh man. But I don't know why you would think you were slapped in the face. If you're talking politics again, I don't remember Fairy Tale having anything political about it or insulting or anything. I don't know. The beginning of The Outsiders was cringe. I never, oh, really? I never read. It's The Outsider by Stephen King. The Outsiders is S.E. Hinton, which I think that whole book was probably cringe. I didn't read it. I have the Suntup edition. It's right around there. The Outsiders. Yeah. Yeah. I love my Suntups. So I like looking at them. If you want to just, you could look at my bald spot while I look at the Suntups. That would make for an interesting channel. It'd be called Bald Face Books. I'm tired, boss. Oh, John Coffey. John Coffey. God damn it. Speedy Parker, John Coffey, Dick Halloran, Mother Abigail. Oh, I forgot about John Coffey. I did love that character, though. Maybe that's why I'm like, well, I'll put a little set aside. I won't judge Stephen King harshly on John Coffey because I loved that character. Man, he was the best. He was Stephen King's best black character. The best one. I so sympathize with John Coffey. He was just fed up and sick of it all, right? He's just like, I'm tired, boss. Oh man, I want to read The Green Mile again. That was so good. So good. I am there with you, John. I am so eyeball to eyeball for different reasons, obviously. Obviously, I can't be in the same camp as John Coffey, but the emotion's very, very similar. That's like when I listened to NWA, I was listening to heavy metal, and then somebody played NWA with Eazy-E, and again felt the same emotion. I'm like, I'm right there with you guys. Different reasons. Different reasons. You could say it's not legitimate. I don't give a shit. My life experiences are mine, and I don't. Last I checked, it's not fair to tell somebody their life experiences aren't valid. But whatever. I connected with the emotion, man. It was punk. It was punk. It was like it's the ultimate punk. Just fed up with the shit hand you're dealt. Anyway, so I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. YouTube does some weird stuff with posts. It will put the posts out of order frequently. I know, I do scroll back up. I try to see if they show up again. Really, the beginning. Yeah. See, now I'm seeing. Okay, I'm bopping around. Some white characters that were made into black characters in movies. Red in Shawshank and Holly Gibney in The Outsider. Yeah. I don't remember Red in Shawshank. Yeah. Morgan Freeman's character, dumbass. I'm calling myself a dumbass to be clear, even though that's a given. Yeah, and some of that Morgan Freeman's Red is probably a fine casting switch. I think Morgan Freeman played that character tremendously. But when you spend 7 books describing Clint Eastwood and then you put in Idris Elba, that doesn't work. You could spend 7 books describing Clint Eastwood and then you put in Paul Giamatti. That ain't going to work. There's like, I'm sorry, you are limited by how the author described the character to be faithful to the book. Even though I could see Idris Elba as a badass gunslinger. He could be. You do the Dark Tower series, maybe you introduce new gunslingers. Like in The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon was not in the comic books, and they introduced him, and he was a badass character. He's one of my favorite characters on the show. It's probably because he had autonomy, he had freedom. He could fill whatever plot hole that needed to get filled. He could go be that character. So I love that. So Idris Elba as a gunslinger, hell yeah. All day, every day, and 5 times on Sunday. Sure, he could be that. He can't be Roland. I mean, you could say, well, then only Clint Eastwood could be. Yeah. Or somebody who could pull off Clint Eastwood. Maybe Hugh Jackman, although I don't think he's the right kind of feel for Roland. You have to have someone more steely and less theatrical, like, someone who could pull off very cold and very short. Russell Crowe, maybe back in the heyday, not now. Anyway, whatever. So I don't really necessarily mind swapping races, but there are some characters you just can't change. Sup all? Hey, what's up, Anthony Vincent Anthony? Good to see you. Just did it again. Guess I'll go. See you in a few weeks. I posted right after Hans said, I'm tired, boss. I don't know what's happening, but if somebody could read and rewrite what is said, I'm on my phone now and I don't see my post either. I'm sorry, Mark, but I'm glad you believe. I'm glad you understand what we're saying and that I'm not doing this to you. I have no keywords I want censored on my channel. I actually always check the comments to all my videos, and there are some that are held for review because they contain insults to me or swear words or whatever. And as long as they're not spammy, I'll take them out and I'll post them. No, put this up. I don't care. I don't care. So I have no things. Now I'll stay here. Awesome. Okay, good. I see you, Mark. Yes, we all see Mark. Um, just comment using super chat. No, I mean you have to pay for that. Don't do that. But yes, you can if you'd like. But don't. You don't have to pay to talk. This isn't the U.S. government. You know what I'm saying? Weird. 2 of my comments were skipped too. Must be an off night here in the YouTubes. Were they gone? You said last I have from you is John Coffey. Like I'm a chat detective. Well, it's weird. It's not even like this is a chat that's like super crowded with like hundreds of people and it's flying by. You ever see, I'm sure you have, you see those YouTubers who have like 10,000 people viewing and the chat just zips by. There's no hope in hell of anyone reading anything off of that screen unless they do a super chat and it's real big. So this isn't like that. So I don't know what the deal is. I thought Odetta was a well-written character. Okay, good point. Susanna Dean, who becomes Susanna Dean. But in some ways, I don't know. Yes, you're probably right. She'd be John Coffey's my number one. Susanna Odetta would be number 2. It is a little problematic how he wrote the character of Odetta. She is furious about the injustices and the trauma of the racism she experienced. So she has trauma she's dealing with. That's why you have that schism. And I guess you would have to be, in my opinion, a black woman from that civil rights era to accurately judge how well Stephen King pulled that off. Because for me, yeah, I agree. I like that character a lot. And I thought he handled it well. But what do I know? Honestly, what do I know? And but yeah, okay, so that's good. I'm glad to be brought around and not see a monolithic problem with Stephen King. Although John Coffey still fits into the magical person trope. Still. Not that I think there's entirely a problem with that, because you have magical white people as well. So you shouldn't limit and say, well, I can't do this. But if that's all you ever do, it becomes like fetishization or fetish, whatever. So if that's all you ever do, then yeah, it's a problem. But you should be able to have supernatural black characters, supernatural white characters, supernatural characters from every background. You should be able to. So I think we'll allow him John Coffey and Speedy Parker just because it's the talisman. And we can even say Peter Straub came up with that character, even though we know Peter Straub did not come up with that character. I made a remark about the end of It and another about Lansdale. Well, I want to know what you said. The end of It was very weird. If you're talking about the ritual of Chud, right? When they join their pact in the book. I read that when I was 15 and I thought, that's weird. The older I got, the weirder it did. Like, why on earth would you include that in a book with characters that old? And then when he revisited Beverly in 11/22/63, I'm like, dude, let that go, man. Just someone hose the guy off. That really did piss me off. But go to 19th Bad Thumbs. What? Yes, especially the Lansdale comment. Yeah, I want to know what you said about the Lansdale. Don't forget about Dick Halloran in The Shine. No, I did mention Dick Halloran. Dick Halloran. Scatman Crothers, um, you know. And then what's funny is that Robert McCammon wrote The Listener, and he has the same sort of thing going on. That I also think of that book as like Robert McCammon's The Shining. It's totally different area, totally different circumstances going on. But I think Robert McCammon wrote awesome black characters in Boy's Life. I really, if you put on a bingo card, if you had a Jeff Word bingo card deck thing, and you said Jeff's going to talk about racism and races in fiction, be like, no, Jeff's never doing that. Nope, no sir, no ma'am. See ya. And that's what I've done for like the last 20 minutes or whatever. So it's kind of weird, kind of uncomfortable. 19th edition, Paul Michael Caine talks about the chapbook. Obviously skipped another comment. Go to 19th Bad Thumbs. He talks about Man in the Black Suit. Or his, because he wrote a book called Friction. I don't really follow him anymore. And I was thinking about that because I was using this bookmark when I was reading Darker Days. This is Paul Michael Caine. And I used to really dig Paul Michael Caine. I liked him a lot. And I liked, everything 19th edition did. But this is so egomaniacal to put yourself in the middle of that. And then when I saw him doing promotion for Friction, he's putting himself in the like, aren't I a personality? You don't make yourself a personality. You can't insist on yourself as a personality. I would never do this. I would do stuff. I love stuff like this to represent me as the skull and all those things. I'd rather have a skull. Death Bus cover freaks me out every time I look at it, so I can't look at it. But put yourself front and center like that, man, it's a little weird. Just a little weird. Yes, he's involved with it. So, well, someone has to design the books, right? So he probably designed the interior. Glenn Chadbourne did the cover. So he probably did the layout and all that. And he's Chismar's Igor, he's Chismar. I'm not going to call Paul Michael Caine any names, but Chismar is the leech attached to Stephen King's ass. I could make it a different part of the body if that makes you uncomfortable. Doesn't matter. He's attached. He's affixed to Stephen King. And then Paul Michael Caine is sort of, third generation or third place. He's attached, not as a leech and not to an inappropriate body part, but he's connected to Chismar, who is like sucking the life force out of Stephen King. So, and I like Paul Michael Caine. I thought he was a really, really nice, sweet guy. He talks about the cover and the font. Oh, I got to see that then, Mark. Because if he did this title treatment, he should be shamed. God, I dumped 19th edition years ago. I have enough swag, and it was simply too much. Yeah, I did dig it though, right? It was so cool. Those dollar bills, y'all, very cool. I did like it. Let me see if I talked about anything I meant to talk about. Oh, yes. So I think I got to do this. That's what I'm trying to tell you for the last hour. So is the 19th edition on Facebook? Does he write it down? Because I can't watch a video. I'll look at it later. But at least thank you for telling me who to blame. And I love my slipcases for Boys in the Valley and Gothic. I do too. I still like getting Paul Michael Caine's bookmarks and chapbooks from time to time. Yeah. I mean, I thought they were cool, but like Hans said, you run out of place to put all that stuff. And it gets difficult. But you do like to have it. And I do like the stuff he creates that makes you feel like you have an artifact from the movies and from the books. So, like those Bill Hodges business cards were a cool idea. No slipcase for Serafina. No, he didn't do that, but you can get one from Bibliopathologist. They have one. I don't know if he's still on hiatus, but mine was from Radical Folios. So I got this from Radical Folios, and then Bibliopathologist is doing a tray case. I don't know if they're taking any orders currently, but that's where if you need one. You know. I don't know if there will be anybody doing an Autumn Springs slipcase, but that would be cool. That would be very cool. I'll think about supporting Paul Michael Caine only after he publishes Constant Conversations and stops saying, I'll have an exciting update about that in a few weeks when it gets brought up. Yeah, I wrote an article for that. Never happened. Has Bibliopathologist given an update on when they'll get caught up? No, I haven't seen it. I haven't looked. Anyway, have a great B. I hope you do good. I hope you do well, Mark. I will, I will see you on the other side, and be well, and apologize for all the snafu with the commenting and all that. I can only do so much with the brain I got. It was sort of the last one in the bin. They threw a few Oreo cookies in there and threw it in my skull, and now I'm ambulatory. So I got to be grateful for that. I entered the lottery as a Sabbath resident. Yeah. So the lottery was a Fracassi Freaks and Fracassi Patreon thing for Goblin, where there are only 10 copies of the rebind of Gothic. I said Goblin. It's a one word, starts with a G and an O, and I'm, again, deficient. So Bibliopathologist, it's actually Hatteras Path, which is Jason Latier. They're doing gorgeous rebinds of Gothic. Just gorgeous. And they're doing 10. 5 are going to Sabbath residents, and 5 are going to Fracassi Freaks. But the drawing is going to be completely random. If you're a Sabbath resident, I do like the way they did that. They're favoring the super fans, right? 50 people have a chance at one of 5 copies. Those are great odds. So if you're a Sabbath resident, you have a greater chance of winning that, a chance to buy it. And then the Fracassi Freaks, that whole group has a chance to win one of 5 rebinds, and those are $475, and they're gorgeous. They brought them to Jeff Con, the prototype, the first one, gorgeous stuff. And so I'm really excited that all these people, but you have to be willing to pay. So don't enter the lottery if you don't have that kind of money. So, for example, I did not enter. I don't have $475 right now. Do I want it? Yes. Would I trade a number of books on my shelves to get one of those rebinds? Yes, absolutely. They're gorgeous. And I'm really, really trying to come to terms with not entering the lottery. But if you did and you can afford it, oh God, you're going to be so happy. And then one of those purchasers will get a golden ticket. It's going to be put in there at random, and one of the purchasers will get a golden ticket. And that golden ticket entitles that purchaser that you then will get a red rebind, the one of one. And so, wow, very cool. Very, very cool. Chad, did you ever clarify what you said about Lansdale? How am I missing things? Am I missing things? So paranoid now. I'm never going to trust it. Later, Gators. Take it easy, Stephen Wayne Elson Jr. Thanks, Jeff. Surgery, all, nothing too big. I know. Abby something. Who's Abby's? What? Abby something. Are you talking about the characters? Recover quickly and fully. Yes. Yes. I'm entered via Sabbath. That golden ticket, though, damn. Yeah. I have that money set aside, left over from the third rule lettered. Yeah. Abby Normal. yeah, that's Yeah, that Fantasia Press snafu. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to show some things. I finished this book, Darker Days. Absolutely loved it. I reached out to Thomas Oldehuvelt to try to get him in the book club, figure out the details on that. So I'll be updating when I just heard back from him today. I didn't get back to him yet, so we'll find out. I'll find out when it'll work for him and how we're going to do this book club thing. So I will reach out to him after I'm off live. But I read it. I still have the signed. I'm so thrilled. I got these. But this is one of the rare cases where I prefer the US trade cover to the UK. Usually I like the UK better, but I love this graphic treatment. Brilliant book. I absolutely love this. Loved it. And if you haven't read it, get it and read it. Thomas Oldehuvelt, with me, he's had 3 at bats and 3 home runs. Hex, Echo, Darker Days. I have to read Oracle, but oh my God, fantastic stuff. Sell some books for the lottery, Jeff. Buy one of those signed Darker Days. I'll buy one of those signed Darker Days, for example. LOL. Yeah, it's an incredible book. Yeah, I know. I could sell books. I could do all that. I don't know. I don't know. Just maybe you're not right now. I don't know. I'm halfway through Darker Days. Agree that it's very good. I'll be done in time for the book club. Well, I need to set that date, but yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I love it, and I think it ends. The ending is awesome, and yeah, literally everything about it. I also got this. This is the sign we should have left well enough alone. You can get it from Park Books in Baltimore, in Maryland. Severna Park, Maryland. I don't know, but I guess it's near Baltimore. We should have left well enough alone. That's his store. He does all the deals there. Oh, yes. Yeah, but I also had the original. But look what I did to that corner. This is a Nocturnal Reader's box. And that corner I dinged. Oh, and it is signed. It's one of the rare signed Malfys. But yes, I wanted to share this one last thing because I don't know if you are Keith Rawson fans. And I do know that Tim really likes his F. Paul Wilson, but they announced that they're doing the Keep. Here's the cover. Well, they announced it a long time ago, but it's rolling through. They're getting it through. And then there's Revelator by Daryl Gregory. I know nothing about that, so we'll just move on. But then Fever House, a novel by Keith Rawson. I know that I didn't really connect with Coffin Moon, and I didn't really go get those that duology from Black Crow with Fever House and Devil by Name. But I know there are a lot of fans of Fever House and Keith Rawson here, so keep an eye out on Midworld. And look at that Sam Araya cover, man. He did the artwork in Brother for Suntop. And damn, Samuel, did I call him Sam? Samuel Araya, who I don't know if he's related to Tom Araya of Slayer fame, yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I think that's interesting. So keep an eye out for that. Fever House is in layout. So we got some time on that. Hasn't been announced. So go check that out. Is Malfi going to AuthorCon? I don't know. I'll be grabbing that from him at AuthorCon. Well, that's cool. I wish I could go just to see Mitch in his Pittsburgh Pirates uniform. Yep, he was there last year also. Very cool. And to finish the show out, I just finished this book. I'm going to do a video on it. A Song for the End of the World. I'm going to do the review. I did the review. I did the unboxing / review. It's very cheeky and funny and clever. And oh my God, it's going to win me whatever YouTube award they give out for best content. And I read it. So you see what I think about it in that video. And there are still copies left. So You might be saving your pennies for Autumn Springs, or maybe you got the second book, that Song at the End of the World, and then that what was the other book? Different Darkness and Other Abominations by Luigi Mussolino. And that's still available. Oh man, that looks so good. That looks so good. Anyway, so just I can give you a review on that. You can see I'm halfway through that book. I'm enjoying it so far. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Download. Okay. Good night. I see everyone online next week. Yes. See you all then next week. Stay tuned on the Patreon for dates and times for the Darker Days discussion. And I hope, Mark, you do well. You're okay. Stay frosty, of course, and come back to us, and hopefully we can see your comments. Have your computer looked at. There's something going on. Or figure out what words are tripping the hammer. Or maybe the CIA is following you, Mark, and something's buggy. I don't know. Anyway, so cheers. Good night, everyone, and I'll see you next week. And I don't know how to stop talking ever.